Ladies and gentlemen, Subnautica Below Zero is here, it's live, and it's hot. Optimized for Xbox Series X and S. I'm going to be testing all the modes, high frame rate and quality mode. So stick around, buckle your seats, and we're going diving deep on Subnautica Below Zero for the Xbox Series X and S consoles. By the way, if you want the Xbox One, X, and S, let me know loud and clear in the comment section below, and I'll get that video going for you. But I'm passionate about this game. Took a while to get this video, but it was worth it. Let's talk about it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Booting up the game from the internal drive of the respective console, I calculate about 50 seconds. And the thing is, and there is a disclaimer here, I do believe that for sure you're getting in less than 60 seconds, you're in the game. Of course, the bigger your save file grows, the harder it's going to be to load it. But anyway, it's pretty fast. The thing is that I'm showing you here is the fact that switching between Series X and Series S was darn near impossible within the time frame to get you this video out the day of the release. I was stuck on the transferring, syncing save file from my Series X to my Series S for minutes, like literally 20 minutes, and I couldn't get it to go above 15-20%. So anyway, I wasn't able to replicate loading times, but I calculate about 50 seconds, 45 to 50 seconds. Of course, it'll get longer as the file gets bigger, but look at that cute penguin. Like, that's it. That's all you need. So, not complaining there, but definitely I hope it gets ironed out because the original Subnautica suffered from that, but I will give the developers the time to fix it because the game is just too beautiful in my opinion. And as long as you stick to the console you started, you shouldn't have issues, but talk to me on social medias under Richie Rich Labs if you need help so we can get that figured out and work with the developers to fix it as they tried to do with the original Subnautica. And they did to an extent to fix it. What you're looking at right now is the high frame rate mode on the Xbox Series X and S. And as you can see, it's going for 60 FPS, but not truly hitting it. I would say, I don't know, definitely above half the time, I would argue. But with VRR on the Series S, you're getting pretty much a smooth experience. I would say and argue that on the Series X, I did play it without variable refresh rate or VRR, and definitely with VRR, it's pretty smooth. It hits the 40s, high 40s here and there, so you'll notice that slowdown even if you have VRR because it is limited to that, about 50, anything below 50, even VRR won't really save the day, but it doesn't go below 50 often. So it's savable, you know, it's acceptable in my opinion. And of course, it'll improve with time, I hope, because that's what they've done. They actually updated Subnautica, the original game, to be optimized for Xbox Series X and S, and I'll have a video up on the channel for that and a little bubble on top here once that video is out in the next week or so. But anyway, Series S, I believe, hits the target of 60 FPS more frequently and doesn't drop as often because the resolution is considerably less. I believe it is 1080p. I don't know if it's dynamic. I don't have the resources to measure that, but from what I can tell, I believe it is a 1080p 60, and then you're getting a 1440p 30, which we'll talk about the 30 FPS coming up real soon. But this part, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my favorites of the game. I haven't gone too far, of course. I found the ship and whatnot, but this jellyfish gathering place, you know, hanging out, you know, it's their hangout area is creepy to get to, but it showcases a point. As you just saw on the Series X, we had pop-in, but the pop-in doesn't happen as often as it does in the Series S. That is because the Series S has less VRAM than the Series X. So you'll, in my opinion, from what I've been able to find in my testing, is you'll have popping of a lot of characters in the game happen, or materials happen more often in Series S. And I believe it's due to because of the lower VRAM in there. But anyway, Series X, it's a nice little touch. Honestly, makes more characters appear on screen. It's from what I can see. Let me know what you think on that. Which one do you prefer in your personal experience? Do you want more graphics fidelity but lower FPS, but not much lower, of course? What's your ratio? Where do you draw the line as to the sacrifice of graphics over FPS, at least for non-competitive games like Subnautica and whatnot? Because for me, FPS on competitive for sure, but when it comes to these kinds of games, I'd rather have graphics over FPS. But still, let me know what you think, and don't forget to support the channel with a sub and a like and a activating the little bell on top so you get notified whenever I release the content that you request and the stuff that I find interesting. Now coming over to the 30 FPS section. The game runs, I believe, on the Xbox Series X at what seems to be 4K. I don't know if it's native, and again, I don't know if there's any dynamic thing going on, but I don't notice a drop on resolution strong enough that I don't think it is dynamic. But anyway, we're looking at what I believe is 4K on the Series X, and then 30 FPS, and then on the Series S, 1440p, 30 FPS. The thing is, for me personally, the input lag was lowered on the original Subnautica once they optimized for the Xbox Series X and S. And so this one, the 30 FPS feels just as good as that one. But as you can see, the frame graph does go above. So that means that the frame timing is being off. Definitely not dropping pretty much at all. I think I did see 1 or 2 drops below 30 on the 30 mode on the Series X, but on the Series S, not really. And so it's good, but it does feel wonky at times. You'll notice on the jellyfish area, real quick before I talk about the jellyfish area, loading times between transitions, it's smooth as butter, even at 30 or 60, so that's a big plus. You'll know if you're a Subnautica player that getting into buildings and out sometimes would be quite buggy, even on the Series X and S, but they fixed that on Subnautica, the original, and of course here the issue is not existent. But as you can see, sometimes here, the Series X will just shoot up above 30. And Series S experiences this too in the jellyfish area. Definitely feels a little weird. It actually got me to crash at times when I was just, floating around. But it's not game breaking. It's just, I believe that you should play this game at 60 FPS. It's more comfortable. It's just a better experience. And if you have VRR, you're golden. If you don't, I would still stick to the 60 FPS. But even though these issues are here, in my 6 or so hours of playing, I've had a blast. Performance is stable enough that it's acceptable for a game that's not competitive. And it's just the color, the art, everything, I like it. I think it's worth purchasing. And if you have any questions, let me know on social medias under Richie Rich Labs. But I hope you enjoyed this and it helps you make a decision on Subnautica. So far, compared to the original console release, I'd say this one is seaworthy. Anyway, that's Subnautica Below Zero. I'm Richie Rich Labs and N107. I'll talk to you all next time. Peace.